Thank you for participating in the Southeast Special Area Study Phase 2 survey. Over the next few minutes, you'll learn the background of the study, a public input summary of Phase 1, and what you'll need to know to take the Phase 2 survey. This map shows the many towns and cities surrounding the study area. The darker shaded areas represent their city limits. The lighter shaded areas represent their planning jurisdiction, or ETJ. The gray or uncolored areas indicate property that is not part of any town or city. These areas are in Wake County's planning jurisdiction. You may be asking yourself, if the study area is in Wake County's jurisdiction, why is the city of Raleigh conducting a study here? The answer is, the study area may eventually be in Raleigh's jurisdiction. Wake County's long-range plan includes handing these areas over to their respective towns in the future. On this map, green represents areas that may eventually be in Raleigh's jurisdiction. How and when this happens will be the main focus of the Phase 2 survey. More specifically, we'll ask about extending Raleigh's ETJ, or extraterritorial jurisdiction. Areas in Raleigh's ETJ are subject to Raleigh's zoning and development laws, though property owners in these areas do not pay city taxes. Areas in Raleigh's ETJ are set up to eventually be annexed into the city. This means, once annexed, these properties would receive city services like water and sewer and trash collection. Annexed properties will also pay city taxes. What we heard from public input in Phase 1 is that natural resources, like the Neuse River, should be protected, and the rural feel of the area should be maintained. We heard about the difficulties related to getting around by car and a desire to improve getting around without a car. We also heard a desire to have improved access to commercial activity like restaurants and grocery stores. The city has used this input to create a few options of how to advance these priorities. Remember this map from earlier? How and where the Phase 1 priorities advance depends on where the city's ETJ is expanded. This decision is the basis for the Phase 2 survey. The city has offered 3 options on where to extend the ETJ. This is a closer look at the study area. Option A is to not extend Raleigh's ETJ. This decision means there is a limited amount of influence the city has on how the Phase 1 priorities are advanced. This decision also means that the study area will remain under the planning jurisdiction of Wake County. Option A still allows for the city to pursue partnerships with nonprofits to acquire land for conservation, which advances Priority 1 by increasing potential conservation areas and maintaining rural character. In addition to potential conservation areas, Priority 1 can also be advanced with additional protections to the Neuse River and buffering the future I-540 expansion. Priorities 1, 2, and 3 can be advanced by creating additional greenway connections, offering new transportation and recreation opportunities. Priorities 2 and 3 can be advanced by creating on-street greenways, separated from vehicle traffic, to provide comfortable transportation alternatives to driving a car. How and where these priorities are advanced depend on where Raleigh's ETJ is expanded. Remember, option A is to not extend Raleigh's ETJ. This means there is a limited amount of influence the city has on how the Phase 1 priorities are advanced. Option B extends the ETJ to the boundary of the future I-540 expansion. Option B would allow the city to advance the Phase 1 priorities in this area. Option C extends the ETJ about 3 miles from the city's edge, the maximum allowed by state law. Option C would allow the city of Raleigh to advance the Phase 1 priorities in this area. This map shows 2 areas where new commercial development can help to advance the priority of improving access to commercial centers for retail and restaurants, advancing Priority 4. Areas outside of these commercial centers would remain rural in character, advancing Priority 1. Option A is to not extend Raleigh's ETJ. This option would most likely result in little to no improved access to commercial destinations. This option advances Priority 1 above all other priorities. Option B extends the ETJ to the boundary of I-540, improving access to commercial activity in this area and maintaining the rural character elsewhere. Option C extends the ETJ about 3 miles from the city's edge. Option C would allow for up to 2 commercial centers, while maintaining rural character elsewhere. The Phase 2 survey will ask you to select one of these 3 options for ETJ expansion. In addition, the survey will ask you to rank the Phase 1 priorities. If you have specific questions about the project, please contact the project manager, Don Belk. Thanks again for participating in the Southeast Special Area Study Phase 2 survey.